Hello, YouTube. I'm kind of pushing the envelope trying to get myself to HelloFresh on time. It's 6:32, Saturday, August 12th, 2023. At this point, I'm damn near a full month behind at uploading my vlog. So God knows when anybody's going to actually see this, but I'm still doing my thing, I guess. It's been a pretty uneventful, useless sort of day. So I did go home with Priscilla last night after I left the bar. That sounds positive. It wasn't at all. I keep saying I'm done, and then I'm just not. And if I'm honest with myself, I'm just wishing somebody will come along, somebody else come along, and just sort of rock my world. That's what I'm hoping for. I realize the odds of that are pretty much slim to none, but that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I've had so many nights of disappointment over Priscilla's. There's a Waymo sitting there again, just sort of camping out. That's obviously one of their designated spots there on 46th Street, facing south just north of Palm Lane. Yeah, no, last night was just, again, I don't know that I've changed as much as she's changed, and I'm not happy with it. I don't feel like my sexual desires or tastes have really changed since we got together. But with her, things that used to once be on the table and used to once be things she enjoyed and things she did, she either just simply doesn't do them anymore, or she tells me no, or tells me to stop, or just twists her body in such a way that it's not happening. And last night it just kind of felt like it went to another level. And as I'm saying it and thinking about it, I feel like, nah, it's probably happened before. It's just fresh in my mind right now. But we had a good time at the bar, so that was a good thing. I forget what time I got there, but pretty much from the time I got there until the time we left, I feel like I had enough time to do 3 songs. I'm trying to remember what they were. I started with The Message by Grandmaster Flash, because yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the dawn of hip-hop. So there's a couple large tables of new people there that I'd never seen before, and as soon as my song started, they all exited. So not quite sure what to make of that. They probably decided it was time to go anyway, but yeah, somehow I thought that song would be about crowd pleaser, and it wasn't, not so much, but I had fun doing it. The other 2 songs I did were Petula Clark, Downtown, which was ridiculous and fun, but by then the bar was so empty it didn't really, I almost felt like I was in the back room singing by myself. And kind of did it with the last song I did, I Can Help by Billy Swan. My God, there's another big pillar of smoke off to the right. My video is capturing it. Holy shit, the windshield is filthy. Can't quite pin where it is. I can angle the video to where I can capture it. I don't know what or where that is, but it sure looks like Central Phoenix, maybe a little bit to the west of Uptown. So big ass pillar of smoke. I did not check Google Traffic to see what it was dealing with in terms of traffic or road closures. I'm just hoping for the best on an early Saturday evening. And I'm on my way to Hello Fresh, by the way. So 2 weeks in a row I've done this Saturday night shift. It's way more traffic than I thought I'd encounter right here. If there'd be anything on KTAR as to what that big pillar of smoke is. The last really big pillar of smoke, when I was at the rental car center working, which seemed like it was really close as well. KTAR was reporting on that one pretty quickly.
He really said, don't do that. And he found himself, I don't know if he was in distress, but his 2 dogs were.
All right, if I turn it up on a Saturday on hear Gato's voice, that just means they're playing snippets from the previous week. They do a thing on Saturdays where it's they call it the best of Chad and Gatos. It used to be called the best of Mac and Gatos, where they just play, I don't know who puts it together, but they play segments of shows from the previous week, which is kind of a neat thing if you weren't listening over the previous week. It kind of gives you an overview of local commentary on the top news stories of the last week. I really should have left out earlier than this. I was trying to get another segment of my vlog uploaded. Obviously, I don't get much done when I'm over at Priscilla's. There is Wi-Fi there. I can sometimes get things uploaded and downloaded there, but she's never given me the password to her Wi-Fi, so I end up on a Cox hotspot, and those seem to be more limited than they used to be, which sucks. I suppose I could ask her for her password, but I don't know. I get by on what's there, and I don't even bug her about it. So when we got there, the way I would like it to go, theoretically, is a little bit of teasing and playing at the bar, just to get us both kind of ready to go by the time we leave. That's how it used to be. It's not really how it works anymore. In fact, she seemed to be doing more flirting and playing with April, and I really don't think her and April have that kind of relationship, but boy, sometimes it looks like it. And although I don't think April really goes that way, Priscilla has a certain history of it. Her first long-term relationship was with a woman who she still talks to on a semi-regular basis. And I realize that's the sort of thing that most guys would consider a red flag. It's never bothered me that much, but it just kind of gets what it is. But yeah, she was all kinds of grinding and touching on April, and April seemed to be into it. Or as April and whatever the deal is with her husband that she's been separated from for a while, who's my friend and was in a horrible accident like a month ago, and is now still recovering. I don't know where he's staying now, exactly what's going on with him. I haven't seen him since right after the accident. What the hell he was doing. But I know shortly after the bar, he texted April asking her to come get him, and she got all mad about it and said that she wouldn't. And I should just say that's none of my business, but the reality of that is there's a part of me that has always found April super attractive. And I gotta admit, last night watching her and Priscilla kind of dancing on each other and grinding on each other, Priscilla wasn't one of the two that I was finding myself turned on by. So there's that. Unexpected appearance last night, I would say after about 12:30, maybe closer to 1. Santos showed up out of nowhere. And he's living with Cricket. That's another chick. He used to come to my karaoke shows often over at Castaways. Now, I've never really got to know her particularly close. I know at one point I used to really piss her off as a KJ, and I don't really understand why that was, other than I felt, she was a little too demanding, and so I kind of entitled to more than that. But I've always found crickets super attractive, and then when I listen to her talk about stuff, I'm thinking, yeah, I could never ask her. It just pisses me off too much. Well, I find it very physically attractive. She did invite me and Priscilla over to her house a couple of times during the pandemic, and she lives very nearby as well. We had a good time hanging out there. She had a karaoke set up in the back room. And at the time, she had a live-in boyfriend, but I do know her and Santos have some kind of a past. And Santos was talking about how he moved back in with her. That's my understanding of that past with her ended badly. And he'd been living out on the northwest side. I mean, he works over at 8X, which is the hell up at 27th Avenue in Glendale. I think he was living somewhere in that general direction. The last job he had on this side of town was over at Angel's Trumpet, which was the brew pub, which was in the old Montgomery Ward's Auto Center, which was the last remaining segment of Thomas Mall, which I've gone off at length about how much I'm bummed it's gone, because there's now a certain chunk of my memories. There's just nothing physical now remaining in Thomas Mall. And Thomas Mall was once something pretty important to me because my girlfriend Tracy worked there in Montgomery Ward's. Not in the Auto Center, but across the way of the mall. A pillar of smoke more to the north here now. And of course, I'm not able to get video of it, and I'm not going to try it on my camera. So y'all are going to have to rely on my description of it. It's definitely west of I-17. Back from here, it almost looks like it's in downtown Glendale. Yeah, very, very large pillar of very dark smoke rising to the sky. This has been a summer of fires in Phoenix, and it's really been kind of freaky to watch. So, damn, I got so much glare from the setting sun, you can barely see the clock. It's 1:43. Oh, I'm well into that part of my gas gauge where I could run out at any moment. I really should have gotten fuel today. Really should have got fuel today. Should have done anything today other than laying in bed, which is what I did. Every time I have a night like what I had last night with Priscilla, it just leaves me with absolutely zero motivation to do anything the next day. It's amazing I got as much done on my blog as I did. I got another chapter uploaded, which were 4 segments edited together, and I did the whole thing right. I ended up with zoom ins, subtitles when needed, and also tried to edit some of my stammering so it sounds a little better. So, not that that's a big deal. I mean, that's what I'm doing most of them, but the last 3 I just uploaded as is, mostly due to late. And I just knew I'm so behind. Like, I'm nearly a whole month behind in uploading, and I don't see that situation getting better. I'm still shooting stuff daily, and I've got some days that I shot a lot, and it's stuff that's going to have to be edited because there's so many small segments. Wow, that vehicle that just changed lanes behind me is really holding up traffic. I'm just crossing my fingers I had enough gas to get there because I do not have enough time to stop. I'm driving in the summer because I think the sun saved my life. And 43rd Avenue. I don't know if I mentioned it the last time I came here last week, but the Wonolo rep that I'd become friends with, Derek, he's no longer with Wonolo. So that's sort of a bummer. The two new guys that were there, they seemed nice enough, but it's not like I had any kind of connection with them. I felt really comfortable, and I felt like Derek and I had actually kind of had some personal talks. So, not that changes anyway, like how he handles me as a Wonolo contractor employee, but it's just nice to be. It's nice to have familiar people around, and there's one less familiar person in my work life, and that's a bummer for me. So yeah, Priscilla. April and Santos, by about 1:30 a.m., were totally making out, which kind of flies in the face of, I'm back together with Cricket, I'm living with Cricket. Like, okay, so that's how it is to deal with Cricket. By the way, where is Cricket? She hasn't joined us for karaoke in years. She always joined us over at Castaways. I don't recall her ever going to wander in since the older portion of the crowd of Castaways sort of migrated. And this is my exit. I never seem to break away to those lanes quick enough. I just don't really see them until it's late. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm going directly into the sun with a filled windshield. So I don't know if anything happened, with Santos Santos and April or not. It's really none of my business, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little jealous. I think it's recent with her and Priscilla would be just that they needed to spice things up for me. I'm beyond bored in the bedroom. In fact, I'm so... Wow, the pillar of smoke is further west than I thought it was. I'm looking directly behind me, and I can see that it's pretty much straight north and just a little bit west. So my estimation of downtown Glendale actually might be on point, because this part of the Loop 202 runs along 59th Avenue, which puts it... That's the center point. The east and west center point of downtown Glendale. Downtown Glendale from here directly to the north. Well, I'm probably not even going to be on time for work even if I don't run out of gas. I'm really pushing to run out of gas at the loop right now. So yeah, as I'm watching her and Santos make out, and I'm thinking, that's really what I want. I'm looking at Priscilla, and I'm not finding myself. I'm not finding her appealing. I'm just not. Her constant smoke breaks don't help that any. I find smoking very, very disgusting. Cigarette smoking. She, I mean, we were getting along all right, as much as just inside I wasn't really feeling it. We were at least getting along, and that was a positive thing. And granted, I was largely just kind of by myself. Now, I did have one big surprise last night, and now I'm forgetting her name. But this older woman that I haven't seen since the little bit of a pause. Well, actually, it was right after bars opened the second time after the pandemic. I had a very short-lived karaoke gig between the first shutdown and the second shutdown during the pandemic at Chopper John's. And when they reopened after the second bar opening, the second shutdown after the pandemic here in Arizona, they strung me along for months. I'm trying to remember if I was vlogging at that point or not. It's hard for me to remember exactly when this stupid vlog started, but at any rate, they strung me along for a long time before they finally gave me a an almost definite no on my karaoke coming back there. So I consequently was going there quite frequently, spending money there that I really shouldn't have been spending there. And it was in that time period that I ran into this older woman. I say older, like she's probably in her late 70s. She's a fun woman though. She's a trip, and she used to come to my shows like way back, like before Gilligan's, when I had shows at like the Ox and other shows in that area, and was a regular of mine back in the day. So I was excited to see her over at Chopper John's, and we got some pictures together, which I sent one to her. I have her phone number now, even though at the moment I'm having trouble remembering her name. But yeah, it didn't take me long to find that, and I showed it to her, and she got all happy. She's like, yeah, send that to me. Yeah, send it to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't have her phone number. But yeah, that was kind of a fun, unexpected person to see. And she was out with a guy that was, age appropriate for her, that seemed to be having a great time with her. Although one time it seemed like he sang a song dedicated to his former wife, and based on a little bit he said, I'm guessing the guy's a widow, so ouch, sadness. It's certainly not the thing you want to be talking about while you're out on a date with somebody else, even at that age. But well, I'm sitting there looking to the right, wondering why there's nobody parked, and then I'm realizing, yeah, that's not the HelloFresh building. This is the HelloFresh building. So I guess I've been kind of avoiding talking about what happened with Priscilla. There's really not much to say. She asked where I was parked. I told her I walked, which I think should have been really clear to her, like in the texting that we were doing, but I long suspected she doesn't really pay attention to me. We went to her place. I drove. We came in, and I'm tired, buzzed, and horny, and she's just immediately goes to the living room and starts playing with the TV. And then when we finally did get to the bedroom, like by then, just nothing hot happened. I mean, sex happened, but I couldn't even keep myself interested. I was just that not into it. Like just not doing anything and let me do anything. It turns me on. And eventually I just rolled over and went to sleep in complete disgust. At one point, shortly thereafter, I did realize that I woke back up, and I was kind of feeling it, and I was kind of grinding on her, at which point she swatted at me. She's like, "No, I'm tired. I got things to do in the morning. Leave me alone. I'm tired." Yeah, that's not a good way to keep me around, woman. Especially since she knows I really didn't finish when we were trying to, get it on. Definitely I wanted to go home, but I didn't feel like walking that far. And I checked Lime, and then was reminded that Lime has a period of non-operation imposed by the city of Phoenix between like midnight and 5:30 a.m., something like that. But at one point shortly after 5:30, I woke up, I checked the Lime app, scooters were available. She got up, and I don't know what she was even doing, but I wasn't even talking to her. At this point, I'm just disgusted with her. And I saw there was a scooter a block away. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get her there or not, because it looked like it was on private property, but it ended up being in somebody's front driveway, so it was no problem. And I just left. I didn't even say goodbye. She's like, "Well, walk safe, get home safe." And I just kind of looked at her and just gave her a look of like, yeah, whatever. Haven't heard from her all day. Yeah, I need a new lover. Maybe I'll meet one here at HelloFresh. Wow, pillar of smoke is really visible walking through the front parking lot here at HelloFresh towards the front entrance of the building. Still curious what that is. It's pretty hardcore.